What were you like as a child?
I love nature. I grew up in mainland China in a village.
Do you think that the anti-Chinese sentiment that emerged in the U.S. during the pandemic has faded away now?
What do you think is the most urgent issue that Washington State needs to solve or improve?
I'm John. I want to ask, how do you balance the business, politics, and the family life?
I think young people in the U.S. are more or less interested in public or political affairs.
Do you think it's more difficult for Asian Americans to participate in politics than other ethnic groups?
Will Chen, a young man from a small village in China, came to the United States more than 20 years ago. Through hard work and dedication, he earned for himself a stable and happy life. But a few years ago, a single sentence changed the course of his life.
On the street, somebody out of the blue just asked her to go back to her own country. So I was like, that's not right. I gotta do something. So I organized a rally against hate.
He chose to enter public service and began a new journey in politics. Today, join the Future Voice young reporters as we sit down with Will Chen and hear the story behind his journey, from a small village in China to the world of American politics.
I'm Elena from Future Voice Young Reporters. Thank you for accepting our interview today. Starting us off, could you first briefly introduce yourself?
My name is Will Chen. I came from China. I was born and raised in mainland China, and I immigrated to the United States when I was 24. I studied at University of Iowa, getting my master's degrees in accounting, passed my CPA, and then I worked for Fortune 500 company as an internal auditor. And then later I get an opportunity to internal transfer from Wisconsin to the Seattle area. And I founded my own accounting firm. In 2021, I ran for Edmond City Council. In 2025, it was an honor to serve the community that I love.
What were you like as a child?
I love nature. I grew up in mainland China in a village. My hometown is, there are a lot of people living there, but it was kind of remote. I remember growing up, we did a lot of farming with simple tools, and then I took the manure from our home to the field to fertilize the field and then harvest the rice and took it home. So I developed habits of loving the nature.
So then, when did you first become interested in public affairs?
As a new immigrant coming to the US as an adult, my whole mission was to get an education and get a good job and live my American dreams. I never in a million years thought that I would get into politics. And that was in 2021 during the pandemic. There was kind of something that happened that I wish that it didn't happen. When my mother, who had immigrated to the US for nearly 60 years, one day she was walking from her place to our house, and on the street, somebody out of the blue just asked her to go back to her own country. So I was like, that's not right. I got to do something. So I organized a rally against hate. That was right here in Esperance Park. If you want to see things change for the better, you have to step up and make it happen. So that's how I get involved.
So about what you were talking about, is that why you were inspired to run for city office, or is there city council, or is there another reason?
I mean, that was one of the reasons, but mainly I want to serve the community that I love. Everything is so expensive. Average housing price over here is close to $800,000. So it's very difficult. I'm running to lower the cost for working families, expand housing options and housing opportunities, and also protect our environment. Like I said earlier, I love the nature, so I want to protect the environment that we all live and depend on.
So do you think that the anti-Chinese sentiment that emerged in the U.S. during the pandemic has faded away now?
The question has been faded away. I think in general, people are good. This country is a country of immigrant. Lately, I have been doorbelling because I'm running for state house, and I have run into a lot of good people from all ages, from all background. And as Chinese Americans, when we see unfair, unethical behavior, we need to highlight them and push back and let them know that we are here to stay. The early Chinese immigrant who came to this country more than 200 years ago, they came with energy and with vigor to help build our country's railroad systems. That's one of the events that lifted up our country's economy and really took U.S. from a ordinary country to the superpower. So we are all what built up this society, and we should be proud of our inheritance.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, what are the differences between running for state office and city council?
As a city council member, what we do is we make policy for our city. And at the state level, we have 96 House of Representatives coming from 49 districts. There are 2 representatives from each district. And what we do is we debate and refine our state policy, basically the laws of the state. And the way it works is there are 2 houses at the state level. There's a Senate, there are 49 Senate members, and there's a House, there are 96 House members. Each house can bring about a bill on the floor, being debated, the voting, and if a bill passed both the House and the Senate, then it go to the governor's desk, or the governor can veto it. So the difference is we're making policies that will impact our entire state. For example, this last session in 2026, there was one of the biggest issues was the millionaire tax that's going to impact the tax structure of our state.
So, what are your main political priorities and beliefs?
One of my biggest priority right now is to help to tackle the affordability issue. I pulled up the other day to fill my tank. It's like almost cost me $100 just to fill my tank. So I'm reducing the amount of driving that I'm doing. And I just pulled out my bicycle this morning, cleaning up, and I'm going to use my bike more now. But I want to tackle the affordability issue. And the way to do that is by reversing what we call the regressive tax structure over $1 million, for example. They pay very, very small percentage of their income to the tax system. So I want to help reverse or correct these regressive tax structures and help the working family with the affordability issue.
What do you think is the most urgent issue that Washington State needs to solve or improve?
Like I said, right now what's impacting every family is the rising cost is outpacing wages increase. So we need to find ways to help people to be able to ease the pain of one of the biggest issue along the line of this affordability is housing. For example, a lot of people are on Social Security and they're pretty much fixed. They don't have extra money to keep up with the increase in property tax. So biggest issue right now is I want to come up with a diverse of housing options, not only to help the lowest income people, but also provide housing options so that people at different income levels can have their choices.
What has been the most difficult part of campaigning?
I would say the most difficult part of campaigning for me is I don't have enough time. I have 5 cities to cover. So I'm recruiting people to help me get out there and engage and listen to people's concern so that we can take that message to Olympia to make policies that will help people.
I'm John. I want to ask, how do you balance the business, politics, and the family life?
You know, there's only 24 hours in a day. So time management is very critical. I have my own business. I'm serving on the city council and also the former board member for Emmons Chamber of Commerce. So there are a lot of community service. Previously, I also served as a president and chairman for the Bing Kong Association in Chinatown. It's a organization with long history, but We have to be able to have good time management skills. And lucky for me, I have my wife, Lisa, is out there. She is actually a high school teacher. So I'm lucky that I have a strong person at home that can help out and support me.
How's your family think about your political view? Do they support it?
My mother actually kind of concerned, who live here right in Linwood. And when I first ran for city council, she was worried. You are a minority person, and why do you get into politics? She was worried about my personal safety. So I assured her that, Mom, don't worry, times is different now. There are a lot of good people out there. Yeah, so she's more comfortable now. Yeah, so we just need to be persistent and know our surrounding and be sincere. I think people will know our true intention is to help the community.
Have ever your family argue with you because they have a different political view?
In my family, it's okay. We don't agree on every single issue, but we're okay. The key is not about argument. I think just like on the city council as well, we have 7 council members. We all most of the time we agree on things, but there are always different opinions on different issues. The most important thing is to be able to lay out your reasoning why you support or oppose an issue, and then just leave it up to the democratic process to take place. And that's what's so beautiful about our system, is that even at the national level, if you look throughout the 250 years of U.S. history, the number of Democratic president versus Republican president in office is almost even.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do. I have one child.
How old are they?
Yeah, he's 14. He's in high school, freshman high school.
Do you think being an elected official impacts him?
I think so. He is an introvert person.
Do you think young people in the U.S. are more or less interested in public or political affairs now?
Young people are the future of our society, and the political involvement. I applaud every one of you able to step up and get involved at an early age. I think it is very critical for the decision that we make today is going to impact your life in the future.
What else do you think we should do to get young people to participate in public affairs?
I think the most important thing is, in addition to what you are doing today, what you can help is to use your voice, to use your connections at school, to get the message out, to invite other young people to get involved as well. Because the more you get more people to involve, the stronger voice you got.
Do you think organizations like Future Voices Young Reporters could help with this?
Definitely. The Future Voice is one of the ways that fit into the scenario that I described earlier, is that you want to get the message out and get young people involved to see the policy that will yield a positive result for the future outcome.
What do you think it takes to be a great leader?
It takes heart and love. A great leader is somebody who can set an example for your friends, your neighbors, and the people who you want to represent. And when I first get on city council in 2021, I want to give you one example, Emily. At the time, it was still during the pandemic. And you remember when you drive on the street, you will see some wooden or plastic structure on the side of the street. It's called a street eatery. And it was a great solution for people to be able to come out to buy food, and still restaurants still can do business. So it was wonderful. However, on the flip side, the retail business, they are suffering because the parking spot was taken up, and their customer cannot park, and their business suffer. When I get on the city council, I propose a solution. As a restaurant owner, if you want to continue to use the public space, which is the street belong to the public, then you need to pay a reasonable fee. And then as a city, we can collect those fees and then turn around to rent a parking space and make it free parking available to the public. So that's what I propose, and we charge $500 per parking spot for the street eatery, and it was a win-win solution. The retailers can have the business, and the restaurant, some of the restaurant, even though they have the street eatery on the street, but they never use it, so they take it down right away because they don't want to pay their $500 if they're not using it. The people who are using it, they're happy to pay so that they can continue to use it. So that's the kind of forward thinking, the kind of ability to bring people together as a leader. And that's what it needs in this political environment. And I'm the kind of leader that had demonstrated, and I have that kind of mentality. I want to bring people together to make policy that's best for our district, best for our state.
Do you think it's more difficult for Asian Americans to participate in politics than other ethnic groups?
I think so. It is. There's more barriers for us to overcome. Historically, if you trace back over 200 years ago, the Chinese immigrant, the Asian immigrant were brought to this country as labor. They were that close to being slaves. The railroads, we build the infrastructure, we bring technology, and we bring the culture that enrich our society. I think people will accept us and will build a better and brighter future for all of us.
In the current situation where Asian Americans are reluctant to participate in politics, do you think that this will change in the future?
Of course, it will change, start from all of you. As much as we stepped up and so that we can lead and we can change the future together.
If there were more Asian American state representatives in the United States, what changes do you think that will bring to America?
I think it's a political process. It doesn't matter whether you are Chinese. We are American. This country is a country of immigrants. We are all Americans. So it doesn't matter what your background or your ethnicity. We need to step up, participate, and contribute where you can.
So earlier when we were talking, you mentioned about the American dream, right? And when I looked on your website, it said how your life represented the promises of the American dream. So do you think the promises of the American dream can be reflected on every Asian American immigrant that came to America?
So the question is, can the American dream be reflected on all Asian Americans who came to the US? And the answer is definitely yes. And beyond that, the American dreams can be reflected on every Americans, not just the Asian Americans. Every Americans who are willing to trace their dreams, become a teacher, or become a wastewater treatment worker, anything that you want to do, anything that you put your heart and soul into it, you set a goal and you accomplished it. I think it's possible for anybody.
Thank you again for accepting our interview today. Could you share a message for us Future Voice young reporters and young people today in America about participating in public affairs and civic engagement?
Yeah, I want to say thank you to be here having this meaningful conversation with me. I think you guys are the future. Our country depends on you, and I wish that you will realize your American dreams. Happy to see you guys growing up, and you will become a powerful leader for the future.